This is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love making Alonso watch questionable Christmas movies.
I'm Alonso, and I trust the process. And this
is the Dr. Hallmark Podcast. Yeah.
Woo.
Feeling good. Week 20. Week 20.
How can be?
It can't, but it is. Let's just take a moment and think about all the fun we've had and
the friends we made along the way.
I've made you watch and all the black and white. All the black and white. Just miles and miles.
You've been a real trooper. You've watched black and white movies. You watched the documentary.
Well, I feel bad because you've made me watch things that I end up liking, and I don't feel like I've been as successful.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the point of the show. So, mission accomplished. I mean, look, if the week comes that you delight me with a surprise, like, we can all go home and buy lottery tickets. But,
this week might be it. It might be it.
I always live in hope. I like to think that possibility is out there somewhere.
Which of the movies that I've brought has been the best for you?
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
God, I need to look at a list.
And why is it Jingle All the Way?
Oh, God. I mean, weirdly, and
here it comes.
No, okay. The one I had not seen before, so at least it did give me an opportunity, an excuse to do that, was I'll Be Home for Christmas. Mm-hmm. But it's bad, as we know. I think the other ones have all been revisits, but again, I need to look at a list. But yeah, nothing leaps to mind, Brad. Well, they've all been painful in one way or another.
Well, okay then. I'm excited today. I want to take you on a journey.
Okay,
Alonso, if you will. Sure. That I love Hallmark movies. It's not a secret. I've made a career of it. And but there was a birthing place for that to be so. That was a weird way to say that. And that place was Disney Channel growing up.
Oh, okay.
Disney Channel creates their own movies. They're called Disney Channel original movies, DCOMs, as the cool kids call it. And there was a period of time in my life where I wouldn't miss a DCOM. There's some great ones out there. Luck of the Irish. My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. To name a few, Motocrossed, Smart House, as I've said before.
Oh yes, the Deathless Smart House,
which I know you ran to your Disney.
Ran right out to see.
Yeah. There is a Christmas DCOM.
Okay.
That I think it's possible that it is the reason why I have fallen in love with Hallmark. All the years of DCOMs have made it to where I kind of love, these made-for-TV movies.
That was your gateway drug.
There's a Christmas one. Okay. That I want to preface this, Alonso. I haven't watched this in 20 years.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Revisiting your past is always going to be a little dicey, but I admire you taking this on.
But I think that this is going to be a good one because there's a chance that it's it's kind of like Hallmark, so maybe you'll like it.
Okay.
That's the risk I am taking here. That's the dice I'm rolling. So we're going to watch the 2000 Disney Channel original movie, The Ultimate Christmas Present.
Okay.
Starring Brenda Song.
Okay.
Who is the mother of Macaulay Culkin's child. So there's more Christmas relation there.
Yes. She's married into royalty. Okay.
And then is that it? Spencer Breslin?
Okay,
yeah.
Disney's The Kid.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Don't know this one, and I don't know that I think the only DCOM I ever watched. Well, I mean the High School Musical. I've seen those.
I mean,
does that count? Were we count?
Yeah, it counts. 1 and 2, yes.
Okay, yes, I know 3 was theatrical. I had to review it.
Well, what'd you think of High School Musical?
Oh, I'm a fan. I get the appeal.
We could do some damage here.
This could
be it. It came to me in a dream. I was like, you know what? I know this is technically like made for TV, so I don't know if it is playing by the rules, but I'm gonna make it play by the rules.
I've never had the chance to sing "Fabulous" at karaoke, but I would.
As you should, my friend. I'm sure it would be fabulous.
I think it would be. All right. Well, I'm genuinely excited to see how this goes. I'm not walking into it with my arms are not crossed. There are no chips on my shoulder. I've never seen this movie. I've never heard of this movie. I'm going to take your word for it, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, again, I don't remember. I don't know if it's good or not. It's been a long time, but I remember loving it.
Okay.
But I don't know if that was because I loved every DCOM. Like they were special
it's
films.
A formative movie for baby Bran. So I'm very curious to see how that goes.
John B. Lowe? No. Haley Todd? No. Okay. Well, these are people. These are people in there in the movie. These are people in there in the movie.
Good on them.
Disney Plus, go watch it, and we'll come back after this break and we'll talk about it, Alonso.
Excellent. Can't wait.
And until then, here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Wow, what a good break that was. If I do say so. The sweet smell of whatever that ad was you just heard. Hope it was
in whatever language.
Hope it was a good one. You know. We're talking the ultimate Christmas present, Disney Channel original movie, a DCOM, as the kids and Alonso call them.
Always, yes.
Always. I'll do a quick synopsis and then we'll dive into it. Originally aired on the Disney Channel, if you can believe it, on December 1st in the year 2000, and it went a little something like this. The movie centers around just a couple of teenage gals, Sam and Allie. Oh, they're fun. They're, just always up to stuff. They love each other. They love this boy who's having a Christmas party on Christmas Day, as you do. And they're all very excited about this. And one day they're out in the woods and they stumble upon this cabin they've never seen before. They hear this man being very disgruntled and he throws something out the window or throws something into the trash. They go naturally to see what it is. And it is some sort of futuristic device. It looks like some sort of robot. So they naturally steal it. They take it back to their home. They start to mess around with it. And they realize that this device can control the weather around them. So like they get a little mini earthquake, you get some rain, and then they figure out snow. And Sam has the idea, or Allie has the idea, to what if we just turned up the snow, had a snow day, we could get what I believe is Christmas Eve off of school. I don't know. And we will be done with school. We don't have to do any of these tests or papers or whatever she was working on about. She was writing something or whatever. She doesn't have to do that anymore because it is winter break, finally. So she turns up the snow, and sure as the day is long, it starts to snow. Real good ones. They wake up to basically a full-blown blizzard. There's a weather guy.
Did you mention that it's Los Angeles? Like that's kind of.
I'm sorry. It is Los Angeles. It's Los Angeles, and there's a guy named Edwin who is the joke is he's the most boring weather guy in the world. He's all about like just the facts and the science and stuff like that. But he is very bothered by this because he didn't forecast it. There should be an explanation for this. So he's going to try to figure out what that is. Santa also, as you know him, he's also, once he realizes what's going on, he's like, oh no, but it's been stolen. And these two elves, Crumpet and Sparky, they come down to help him figure it out. And just to be a couple of goofs, you know what I mean? You need a couple of goofs. Am I right? So the snowstorm starts to spread.
which, this is new tech. We don't know what it's capable of, but apparently it is able to spread. And the reason we know that is because Allie's dad is in San Francisco for business, and he's not able to get home. All the flights are grounded, even in San Francisco, because the snowstorm is moving in. So they start to realize that with great power comes great responsibility. If you can make it snow, you're playing God. Is that good? Are there ramifications? You betcha there is. And so they say, you know what? Enough is enough with this snow. We'll turn it off, and then everything will go back to normal. But in the middle of the night, it turns right back on, and it's worse than ever. They wake up, and things are just going crazy. Our guy Edwin, from what I gather, has written some sort of software or is able to pinpoint the exact location that snow originated in. Again, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know how weather works, really.
If it were a tornado, you could find the epicenter. So I will say sure.
Why not? And he figures out exactly where the snow's coming from. So he is trying to make his way through Los Angeles. The roads are crazy, crazier than normal, am I right, Alonso? And so he's trying to figure that out. Santa also has now narrowed it down finally. Who has it? Now, you could ask yourself this question, which is that he's Santa. Should he not be able to know? Neither here nor there. He goes through the naughty list in the Los Angeles area and figures out of all the girls that wear the shoe that was in the mud. It's very technical, but finally he narrows it down to Allie, and they basically show up, and they're like, let's take this thing back. But who also shows up? It's Edwin. Edwin wants this device because he can be the best weatherman in the world, because he can make it do whatever he wants to do. And so he's able to find a device. He takes it. Santa, the elves, and the girls, they chase him through this thing. He gets some chocolate. It's a whole ordeal. And so finally they get the device back. Edwin decides that, you know what, I've learned my lesson here. I want to teach people the weather. That's exactly right. So he opens his own school, and they're able to turn up the heat a little bit, which was probably the better course of action to begin with. Allie, you should have thought that one through, because it's really cold. But nevertheless, it's, we're able to warm things up a little bit, melt a little bit. It's Christmas morning. Dad's still not home, but guess who brings them home? The elves. They bring them home, and they're all happy on Christmas. And that, my friends, was the ultimate Christmas present. That's exactly right. So excited to break this movie down. If you remember, Alon, I'll go first. If you remember, I haven't seen this, I think, since the year 2000. So, a mere 22 years ago. And I remembered kind of the gist of the movie, and I remember really liking it at the time. But was it just because I was...
was it great, or were you 8?
I was 8. Okay. I don't know. I love this. I had a blast with this movie. I thought this was a bundle of fun. I might be in the minority here. I don't know, but I thought it was a bundle of fun. Yeah, I love DComs, and I've talked about how they're my gateway drug to Hallmark many a times. But there's just something about this that I just absolutely adored. I thought the storyline was actually, like, it is wacky new. I wish we had a what segment on this particular program, because we would have been able to go for days. But it's a pretty fun story about snow and Los Angeles and figuring all that out, and say good Santa, and you got a villain of sorts, and so it all worked for me. I had an absolute blast. It holds up, and it gets the Bran stamp of approval. If you're gonna watch a Christmas DCOM on Disney Plus, there you go. Look no further. I think there is another one with Bryan Cranston, which I was not aware of. I haven't seen that one. Maybe on a different show. Later we can do that. But what do you think, Alonso? This is your only DCOM aside from High School Musical. Was that correct?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I watched my friend Kevin Chamberlain, who I mentioned on the Christmas with the Cranks episode, is also in one of the Teen Beach something movies as like a mad scientist or whatever.
Okay.
But I pretty much just fast forwarded and watched his scenes, so I couldn't really speak to the film as a whole.
Did you watch Camp Rock for the Jonas Brothers or no?
No. I'll say this. This is the least bad film you have made me watch over the course of this entire program. So, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
And the cheapest to make. And that shows
no
you something.
doubt. Yes, exactly. Now, I get the appeal. And I also think it is interesting. Like we could sort of lay out a thing of like the beats that you expect a Hallmark Christmas movie to hit and the beats that these movies, I'm just guessing from this one, like I'm sure the bad guy has to not only wind up defeated, but also like covered in, slime or goop or chocolate or cotton
Sure.
candy or whatever. Like I bet you that's a trope. Yeah, it's fun. It's cute. It's silly and innocuous. But I thought like it made occasional stabs at being a real movie, like where Sam talks about her dad being dead and like how that kind of impacts the holidays. I love kids talking about death.
Who doesn't?
When done right.
Listen, it wasn't heavy-handed at all the way they got there either. There's no way you could ever understand what it's like to not have your dad home for Christmas.
Oh, wait.
I couldn't.
I was kind of surprised. This movie actually has some genuine bona fides. It was written by Michael Hitchcock. And you may not know that name, but trust me, if you saw his face, you'd be like, oh, that guy. He is like a very busy comic character actor. He's in like all the Christopher Guest movies. I believe he's married to Parker Posey in Best in Show. He's that guy. Okay. So anyway, he's like, I think he's from the Groundlings. Like he's a genuine like comedy gem, and he is the screenwriter for this thing. And I think he and the woman who plays Allie's mom like have story credit on it. Okay. So, there's some fun people who pop up in this, like Susan Rutan, who plays Mrs. Claus. She was on LA Law. The guy playing Santa was in 3 Hallmark Christmas movies last year alone.
That's not surprising. An excellent Santa.
He's a real good Santa, a busy fella. He doesn't even always play Santa. Like, he's just the guy in movies, and he just sort of suggests Santa, I think, sometimes for Hallmark. It was dopey. Yeah, like, why is this kid having a party on Christmas Day? Why is her little brother having a basketball tournament on Christmas Day? Like, what? You would think that Los Angeles just, like, ignores it entirely. Like, no, we're
the timeline of this movie is insane. The amount of things that are going on leading up to Christmas and on Christmas in general. The amount of people that are having Christmas Eve or Christmas Day parties. It's just unbelievable, and I loved every second of it.
And look, for as much as we give Hallmark movies guff about getting the fake snow really wrong, pretty impressive here, I have to say.
Definitely. Obviously, like it's like super super fluffy, but like at least it's doing something, and they got like a ton of it on the ground.
Yeah, I suspect they probably like shot a few things up in the mountains or something where there really was snow, like for the snowmobile stuff. And when the girl on the naughty list who likes to bash snowman with a baseball bat, like whoa. But yeah, I think as a movie for kids, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's fine. It's fun.
Absolutely, buddy. I mean,
I was reminded of like when you see former Disney kids who go on Saturday Night Live and do like their, they'll have the acting school for Disney children, like how to be the Disney sitcom kid, like I definitely was seeing some of that acting in there. The overall brightness of everything was very much, I think, part of the Disney Channel aesthetic of that moment. But yeah, no, I had a good time.
Spencer Breslin, though. Oh, tough sledding, pal.
Whew. A thankless role.
But like literally, like could not be more like mom, like just unreal. This guy, yeah. But I loved it, and I love me by now. I love like the worst, the actual worst Hallmark movie is not boring, but the worst. The more I probably like it, I love the badness of it. So this worked for me 100%.
Well, certainly give me a bonkers plot twist over, rival house cleaners in love,
But the like even the plot device, this thing was like really intriguing, like kind of a cool idea.
Like, I guess, but why would you have an earthquake setting?
Yeah, that seems.
What are you?
That seems unnecessary.
Santa? What's the plan there?
Yeah, see, Santa's up to no good, I don't think. But I also love, like, what was he trying? Like, he threw it out. Like, what happened in between throwing it out and bringing it home to make it work?
Yeah, maybe it jostled it just so.
It's a classic jostle. It's a classic jostle situation. Let's get to Christmas feels. What in this movie gave us Christmas feels? What kind of the ranking we would give it? Alonso.
A tricky one, because, like, you've got Santa throughout, but he's mostly in, like, detective mode. He's not really like being jolly. He's kind of annoyed the entire movie, and
though.
And well, he should be, absolutely.
Listen, when you go to the cabin in the woods a few days before Christmas to work on a weather project with an earthquake setting, you would be annoyed too if someone takes it, Alonso.
I begrudge him none of that. We're talking about Christmas feels, though.
Yes, you're right.
I almost kind of feel like, in a way, this could have just been a winter movie. Like, the Christmas adds the ticking clock of, will Dad get home in time for, from San Francisco? But, like, and it was cool when they decorate the cactus, because they can't go shopping for the Christmas tree because of the snowstorm, blah blah blah. But I didn't get a ton of Christmas out of this movie, weirdly enough, as much as I got winter. But in the same way that any song about winter becomes a Christmas carol, that does kind of carry along. And obviously, LA would totally grind to a halt if we had even the tiniest bit of snow. I mean, I grew up in the South. In Atlanta, like, there's ice one day and the city just shuts down, and then, like, it melts and we all go back to our lives. So here, forget about it. We can't even deal with rain here.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I agree. It did, the Christmas isn't a lot, but the winter is. So it kind of confuses you, like you feel disoriented, because I'm like, there's so much snow, but there's not a light to be found in this movie. Like, not a Christmas light to be found.
Some of the houses have some decoration on the outside, but yeah, there's not. It's
not like enough. Not enough.
It's not a tree in every corner movie for sure.
There's some like fun like ska versions of Christmas carols that I didn't know I needed, but thank you for that. Early 2000s, am I right? It's a golden age of music.
I think it's all the ones they didn't use in I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's right. That's exactly right. But Dan would have loved it every second.
For sure.
So yeah, I give this probably like a 6-ish, 6.5.
That's fair.
I think the Santa's good. The winter they knocked out of the park. I'm always perturbed when people don't get their Christmas tree in movies, at least a month before Christmas. Like, was your dad in San Francisco for a month? Probably not. Probably not. You probably should have already gotten it.
What is this, like, 1910, where, we're decorating the tree on Christmas Eve? Like, come on.
No, not having it. Not having it. If I wanted that, I would have, gone back a few weeks and watched a black and white movie where they do that. I don't need that here. I don't need that here in my color films in the year 2000. But yeah, I think a 6.5 is probably fair. Oh boy, what movie would you recommend?
I have one.
Okay, great.
All right, so if you want a movie about kids and snow and getting out of school, and from people who are responsible for, like, great 90s kids television, the feature film Snow Day, which is currently streaming on Amazon Prime, was written by Will McRobb and Chris Viscardi, who are the creators of The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yeah, classic.
A show I loved. I was far too old to watch it, but I watched it anyway.
I was very shocked when you just said that, but sure, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it was, like, they had, like, Michael Stipe was on that show from REM, and like, Steve Buscemi was on that show. It was a very cool show. Like, you could be in your late 20s and be like, we have to watch Pete and Pete, because,
Pete and Pete.
And actually, Will McRobb is now doing the Harriet the Spy show on Apple TV Plus, which I just watched for the first time, and it's actually really good.
Really?
There have been some not great Harriet the Spy adaptations over the years, but this one seems pretty cool. I'm going to watch more of them. But yeah, Snow Day would be my recommendation.
trying to think of like a good snow day Hallmark movie, like a movie where the snow really.
Well, there's a lot of, like the airport is closed, I'm stuck in town. Like, what's the one with Tom Everett Scott and Brooke, what's her face as a stewardess, like that one. That's I'm stuck because of the snow. Any of the, Winter Storm Megan movies from Lifetime from a couple years ago, obviously.
Yeah, I think we need a this needs to be redone. I love a device that can make it snow. We don't need to know the science of it. I love,
and we're not getting it.
I love that Brenda Song was like, what if we just we put an antenna, like what was it, the antenna or something? It was great. I love that.
And why does it have a face? Why does that machine have a face?
I don't know.
But thank you for making me watch it. It was not one I had encountered and probably would not have gone to on my own, but it's cute.
I don't know. When you were done, did it pull up that Bryan Cranston?
The Bryan Cranston one, yeah, I haven't seen that one either. So we can put that on the list for later.
Was the Night, I think it was called?
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, maybe we'll watch that with Dan or something during.
Oh, there you go.
That'll
He'll
make
love that.
Yeah, that's a Disney Channel original movie. Bam. Bryan Cranston. It's the golden. That was perfect for him. All right. I'm going to take off my headphones. You're going to tell everybody what we're going to watch next week. And are we going backwards? Is this what
I'm going to jump back a little bit, but not to it. It's in color. I'm going to tell you right now, it's in color. So
fair. Fine enough.
Calm yourself.
All right. I'm taking it off.
Okay. All right, I'm jumping backwards because one of the movies from the 40s that I wanted to show is not streaming anywhere still, and I was kind of holding out that it would show up, but still we cannot stream I'll Be Seeing You, so too bad. What I'm going to throw in, and I think Bran is going to love it, because it's one of my favorites, it's another Christmas Carol adaptation. It is the 1970 musical Scrooge, starring Albert Finney and Alec Guinness, and with the screenplay and songs by Leslie Bricusse, who co-did all the Willy Wonka songs. I love this movie, and I he's got to enjoy it, right? We'll see.
Wowie! Can't wait. I can't wait for whatever you just said. I can't wait for it. Let everyone know.
We are running out of our list. It's crazy.
I know.
Getting to the end of this thing.
Next week's going to be week 20, I think. Just don't even know what to do anymore. But let's just stop talking because I'm gonna get emotional, and we'll be back next week, and you'll let me know what we're gonna watch. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.